Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to the Powered by Velocity podcast. I am Lane, and as always, I'm here with Justin. We're going to be talking about a few topics. We release them Monday through Thursday, and then we release the full podcast at a later date. So the first topic is going to be about Call of Duty being announced the most anticipated game for the rest of the year, like the fall, which I think
Which,
is
which even if it was a year, it's still the same. It's still so far-fetched.
so
I can't believe that.
I looked it up. It was the Nielsen Game Rank. They polled 4,800 gamers, and the percentage, it was out of 100%, obviously. So Call of Duty got 98%. What do you think the next one was?
What?
What do you think the next one was on the list?
Fallout?
Nope. Well, yeah, Fallout and Assassin's Creed are tied. And then this is where it
Well,
gets
that's another topic that's kind of that's almost
that
stupid.
that was 94%. This is what do you think got 92%? You're never going to guess this ever. So I'm just going to tell
What
you.
what what genre is it?
Racing?
Oh, Forza?
Nope. Need for
Are you serious?
Speed.
Oh, what?
And then after that, Battlefront what got a 92, which or 88 rather, 88.
Which I haven't been able to play the beta yet,
And
so
then
I don't know how that's gonna pan out.
Tomb Raider got an 80%, which
That's about right.
and then Rock Band got a 76%. But I think the big injustice is that Fallout 4 is not at 98%. This is also for multiple console, because if we're talking of just Xbox One, then Halo 5 got 100%, but they decided not to include that obviously because it's not on both systems. And then if we're talking just PS4, Uncharted got 100%. So
Yeah, but that whole thing where Fallout wasn't doing like a console exclusive stuff, that's not something that would exactly hurt them. So
yeah.
I don't know what. Maybe they probably just went to like the COD championship and like polled all those people.
I wish
What's the most anticipated thing?
they didn't show like the ages of people they
Well,
polled.
that would defeat the. That
Well,
would defeat
you
the.
can have an age range.
Yeah, I guess.
Some polls have that kind of stuff. So that would, if it was like, I could see if they did like 10-year-olds to like maybe 30-year-olds, maybe.
Well,
Because
then you get Skylanders and shit.
I guess, but this Call of Duty's so overdone. There's no way it should be outdoing Fallout 4.
This is also coming from you. I mean, you're taking a different stance on the podcast than you usually do in real life. You guys are all looking forward to COD,
Oh, I love Call of Duty.
but you're not. Yeah,
I'm
it's
looking
not fair
forward
say
to
that you're
Fallout 4 more.
Yeah, as is probably
Every
everyone.
everybody except the people they polled in this fucking thing. And this whole list makes no sense. I don't know why Assassin's Creed is tied with Fallout 4. I don't know why Need for Speed's beating out Tomb Raider.
What was the percentage on Assassins? 92?
94.
94.
Fallout and
That seems
Assassins are
high. That seems
94.
high for Assassins.
I
I,
definitely.
I was gonna say maybe it was because Fallout dipped a little bit that it was tied with them, but I don't know. 94 is not a bad number either. It's just a 98 for a series that has been around and pretty much hasn't innovated much
It's just
in the
weird
past
that
decade is
the top
that's
three,
crazy.
two of them are annualized games. Like, how can you be looking like how can that be the most anticipated game over and over and over again?
It could be because so many people play Call of Duty. It's kind of for everyone.
That's true.
So even if you knock that number down to 4,000 polled or whatever, you're still gonna get a majority of people that like know what Call of Duty is. Because like Need for Speed, I know some people were probably like, "What the hell is that?" And like, is that the movie with Aaron Paul? Like,
I saw him on Breaking Bad once. That might be good.
he looks the exact fucking same in the movie.
It's so like Call of Duty. You're true. Anyone can pick it up and play it and be like halfway decent at it. But they must have been, like polled gamers, not just random people. You would assume.
Yeah, but it's still the largest FPS, the largest game worldwide. It probably pulls in more money than anything. They have a three developer rotation, and it's the only one that's done that. So
And Fallout
I
also
mean,
is
the numbers are still there to kind of justify it, but 98 still seems high.
Fallout 4 also. That's like a lot to dive. Well, it's not. It can be a lot to dive into if you're going for like the 100% or just even playing it. There's so much to it. And maybe some people are scared of that, possibly.
Some
Or
people also, most people, you don't go for the 100% though.
well, that's true, but there's
They
still
might
like,
if they have it. They might if they have a year,
but
but
it's
there's
just
other
like
stuff that they probably want to play.
there's a lot to it though, so that might just be like scaring people off, or maybe they haven't played Fallout 3, which is also weird if they haven't done that. But it's
Or
weird.
or you don't kill things as frequently as you do in Call of Duty, so that it turns them off. Like,
They have to level up
after
their
work,
character.
after work, I'm thinking genocide, not fucking having fun.
It just, I wouldn't even. That wouldn't even been in my top three for probably it might be my third. Call of Duty might be my third.
It might have been up.
My top three for most anticipated would probably be Fallout and then probably Tomb Raider, if we're not counting Halo. If we're not counting Halo,
Why aren't we counting?
I'm saying
now?
if we're counting, because this list is multi-platform, they're not counting Halo or the Uncharted series. So
Okay.
if
So,
obviously,
so you're sticking with the list?
yeah, I'm sticking with the list. If Halo is in there, then Call of Duty would definitely get the bump out of that top three spot. But I don't know what else would really. Maybe Rainbow Six. I'm probably one of the most people anticipating it, like hyped towards it. But there's definitely not a huge market like Call of Duty or anything like that.
And I wasn't very impressed with the beta. I need more out of the game than what I saw in the beta.
Yeah,
I mean, I'll probably still get it, but I might wait.
It's not like it's not 98% on your most anticipated
No,
list.
no.
It's just I can't believe that Rock Band's on this list. I don't know who.
Well, Rock Band hasn't been around for so many years, and the 76 dip kind of still shows to me that it's still kind of a stagnant market.
That's true.
So, I mean, I know the people that want to play it are going to have it. The reason I've been talking about to you about that. I was like, should I get Rock Band or should I get Guitar Hero? And you're like, why would you get either of them? And I'm like, yeah, that's probably right because I don't want to buy that equipment and store that equipment.
I bought the.
I already have issues fucking moving my room around so I can have friends over. Like, let alone, look, here's a drum set. That's it. It's a chair now.
I bought the Beatles Rock Band, like the whole set. I played the drums maybe once, and then right in my closet it went, and I threw it away like last year.
From you, and I popped like one achievement from like Abbey Road, and then
Well, I still think
it's
that
just
Guitar.
killing my ratio.
I think Guitar Hero is better than Rock Band. I mean, if they're polling individual
Depends
people,
on if you have 4 people consistently at your house.
yeah, but they're polling. I'm assuming individual people, so you'd assume that someone would be more excited unless they're like 100% sure they can get those 4 people at their house. I still could never get someone. Whenever I would play with 4 people in Rock Band, everyone would be like, "Who's singing?" and no one would want to sing.
Do you know how they issued this question? Was it just like an open forum type thing, or did they give them a list of games?
It didn't really say. It just said how many people they polled. They also said they did it between August 24th and September 19th. So that kicked Metal Gear right out of the fucking chances of being on the list. But it didn't really say exactly what they did, just what percentages each thing got. Let's see. It says
Honestly, it might not be that bad because there's not much else out unless you start dipping into the indie realm.
it's so wrong that Call of Duty should be on top.
Yeah. Well,
like the beta was fun.
It's not, but that's it. The real argument we're making here, I think, is Call of Duty shouldn't have beat out Fallout. But Call of Duty probably should have beat out every other game that you mentioned. If you're not factoring in Halo and I mean Uncharted collection is a collection, so I don't even kind of consider it.
I feel like the only people that get excited for Call of Duty year after year is from like in like your high school age. Like once I left high school, I didn't really want to play a Call of Duty or wasn't super excited for it. Of course,
that's probably because you played it so many years beforehand.
I guess, but
so you're just saying because they're in high school, they are just starting out with Call of Duties, and that's why it's so exciting. So they haven't had that stagnation or anything.
Yeah, I mean, I guess this Black Ops, I could see this like if this was Ghost, Call of Duty Ghost, and that was most anticipated, I'd be fucking so mad. But I could see Black Ops.
But you were psyched about Ghost too, and only after playing it and for a while did you realize that it was the worst.
That's a very valid point. But playing like the beta for Black Ops 3, like it feels like they're going back to what made the series actually do well and not just releasing the same shit over and over and over again.
I kind of want fucking like Infinity Ward when it's their turn or whatever because I put them at the bottom, but I kind of want them to just kind of throw the Call of Duty fucking thing in front of a thing and then make it $60, and then when the people turn on the game, it's a fucking 2D side scroller. And I just want to see how many Call of Duty broke some more records. Maybe people were just going off of the name recognition alone.
It's possible.
Because what if they went back and they did like a World War II game right now, like without? I mean, they'd market the fuck out of it, but like just say there was no marketing for a game. Say they did the Assassins thing and they released 2 of the 3 games in a single fall or something. Like how many, if they didn't market one of them so heavily, how many sales would that one make?
So you're saying if there was two Call of Duties like there was two
Yeah,
Assassins, World War II, I don't think they'll. I mean, eventually they'll go back to World War II, but that would definitely not do so well because every game nowadays is like futuristic, like Titanfall or what other game was I just thinking of? Oh, Advanced Warfare, I guess would count too. But they're
yeah.
just like
Call of
jetpacks.
Duty, Call of Duty's the elite, so they're not going to be the one that makes the move to stray away from
Yeah,
that.
then that they're never gonna.
If they want to keep shelling out the thing and getting their paychecks, they're going to do it, and it's going to be the Respawn, the Titanfall developer that's going to be like, maybe we shouldn't do this. Maybe we
I
should have killer horses instead of.
I want to know if they're ever gonna go like because Activision made Destiny, so I'm wondering if they're ever gonna do a Destiny route with the game, where they just make one and they just like fix it for like
That's
years and years to come.
that's what I want. Because honestly, how many years in a row have we got Nuketown?
It's true.
I don't, there's like 6 variations of Nuketown. Like, I could just keep that map, or you could just give me some more of them. I don't know.
Because Rainbow Six is gonna. I think Rainbow Six is gonna attempt that model because they're not gonna have any paid DLC maps, which I guess Evolve also did.
Yeah, Evolve was kind of did it the first time,
But they,
which it makes sense.
it does definitely keep
Right.
your player base like intact and everything like
And
that.
there's other ways to make money.
But
Like Call of Duty people buy those skins all the fucking time, don't they?
yeah, the supply drops.
Just
I
is
myself
that
have
what they
bought.
are?
Yeah,
I thought the supply drops are the things you got like after every game or so.
yeah, but you can also buy advanced supply drops to get
That
different
you keep
guns and stuff.
permanent stuff.
So it's basically like skins in CS:GO or fucking hats in random other games. But I'm surprised they haven't gone that
Team
route.
Fortress because you love that you always bring up that Team Fortress hat thing.
Well, because Valve does it right. They made CS:GO and Team Fortress, and they'll probably never make another one for another 5 to 10 years. But they're still making a shit ton of money. Like what would be easier to sell for you if they? Well, you don't get the DLC usually for Call of Duty, but if they came out with like a cool,
I used to.
you used to, but like if they came out with a cool skin or something that you found cool and it was like 99 cents, you're more likely to buy that than you'd be to buy a DLC pack.
$40.
Yeah,
Uh,
like if they came out with
what was that? A $1 skin versus a $40
map, or it's like $50 season pass.
Yeah, which is ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, I buy them.
That's why I don't buy them.
I only buy them if
That and zombies are too complicated, and you need a full team of 4, and
that's
it's
true.
just I hate it's a slow start to every game, and I just don't want. There's other things I'd rather play than zombies.
But it's so I'm surprised they haven't gone like because that's like the mobile game route. They like release a game for free. Obviously, they never do that, but then they just microtransactions out the ass. Even though every console player is like, I don't want that, but like
but then they buy it.
Yeah.
While
they're complaining,
while they're playing Clash of Clans on their phone and buying their fucking like
extra lives or whatever the hell you buy for Clash of Clans.
their FIFA sports packs, and they get a gold card, and they fucking flip out.
Because like EA does that, they do the Ultimate Team packs and stuff like that, and I always look at it, I'm like, I'd like to try this, but I'm not going to.
Yeah, I think like one of the back when I played Madden, I haven't gotten sports games since like 2005. I mean, I've played them and borrowed them, but I've never gone out and fully bought it because I was always late on Madden. I'd always get Madden for Christmas when it came out in August, and then like I had a few months during like a baseball season or something, and they were just like, "Oh, hey, there's a new Madden."
Here's the new one with
Oh, fuck.
no real upgrades. They have
Yeah, but I think they had sports packs and stuff like that back then. I think I had like cards and like special teams and stuff, and it was fun. But would I pay extra money for that? God no.
I'm at the point right. There's an achievement in Madden 16 where you have to complete a full set, for like a card set in Ultimate Team, and I'm always like, how I want to buy packs and just get that over with, but I guess I'm gonna just grind away and hope I get the achievement.
That appeal of just buying packs ever since Pokemon, man. Ever since.
Well,
Pokemon.
it's so cheap and it's such a mystery and it just
It
gets
is not
you.
cheap though.
It's not cheap if you get
$4 for a chance,
that's
and you only get like 7 cards.
That's-
Yeah, it's not really that. The money's not really that great. It's fun as fuck though.
it's very true. But it just at some point I could see Call of Duty going to Destiny route and maybe like just releasing DLC packs and stuff, but then maybe they wouldn't make as much money. They'd also have to make a perfect game, I guess. Even though we're kind of getting off the topic of Call of Duty being the most anticipated game.
Yeah, but you can also tailor the game. I mean, you can't change the. it would be hard for them to release a game and then like in 2 years later they drastically change every dynamic of it. But you can tailor it based on feedback. Which if, instead of having like three development teams and shelling out money, let's be honest, they're not going to do that until they
A
see some money
drastic drop.
trickling away from them, which I don't see happening
It's been
for
going
at
down.
least 5 years.
It's been going down, but it's not like, oh
But they've still
shit.
broken records
Yeah.
and stuff.
So it's
Like, oh no, GTA 5 beat us out this year. Oh no.
When
Good
does
thing
it-
they don't release a game until the next 7 years. Like, you know.
But like Destiny, I wonder how much Destiny makes off like the new Taken King DLC, because that like revamped the game fully, and just like if Call of Duty could do that sort of, maybe like release, what were those things called in Modern Warfare 2? Were they Spec Ops?
Yeah. Oh my God, I love Spec
Like
Ops.
imagine they just made a Call of Duty game like Destiny, like it was just solid gameplay. They had a bunch of Spec Ops, they had zombies. They just put like all their good assets just in one game and just release map packs, zombie maps, Spec Ops. They would make so much money. Like I don't know,
I know.
I don't know
But
if it'd
would
be the
they-
same amount.
But we would need the numbers based on what that model looks like, as opposed to their three development cycle
Yeah, that's
releasing
true.
$60 games. Now I know it's hard to develop. It would really come down to how much it costs to develop a new game,
That's true.
which I think they would love to eliminate that cost.
They would, but I don't know if that costs.
And then you could like limit the teams down a little bit just to have like teams to manage and manage feedback. You could have community managers and stuff like that getting feedback. You could have smaller development teams to tailor based on the feedback, and it could work. And it could add other stuff. I just don't think they're making too much money right now to be able to do that. And I wanted to say that the precedence is there with Destiny and like the Master Chief Collection, because the Master Chief Collection was already 4 games, and then we got like ODST, and I'm still kind of holding out for Reach. I
That'd be
still
sick.
think like that. Like you can obviously add the game there as long as the people have the gigabyte space, right?
Yeah.
Who the hell cares?
It's.
I mean,
I'm surprised with how greedy they are. I mean, I guess it's not greedy. I'd probably do it too if I was making.
that's a loaded beginning to that.
Yeah,
That's
but like I'm surprised they haven't re-released all the other games like COD 4, Modern Warfare 2. It seems so perfect with all the other games that are doing that, where they could definitely do it and just make a boatload.
They're running out of time though, because we're only going to put up with this. I'm already tired of buying, but rebuying and replaying games.
That's true. But do you think if they released like COD 4 and there was remastered and everything, you'd be
If
like,
they released COD 4 remastered, people would go apeshit for it.
or that or Modern Warfare 2, they'd go crazy.
Well, you know my opinion. I hold COD 4 higher than.
Oh, me too. COD 4 is my favorite, but like,
But then there's the thing: if you go back, are you still gonna only have 3 kill streaks? Are you gonna have the multiplayer play the same, where the kill streaks can get kills? I think they did that in that one, right?
in what, COD 4?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just 3 kill
It's two,
streaks.
two they definitely did. And it was fucking. It broke that.
COD 4 was
I get a predator missile at 3, and I get a helicarrier at 7. Like, tough shit.
COD
Guess I-
4 was
guess I gotta-
it
Oh, they
was
would know.
UAV at 3, airstrike at 5, and helicopter at 7. It was just so perfect. Even though
Yeah, but it's kind of then the focus was on the actual shooting and stuff.
yeah, which I guess
Which hope you're ready to get prone shot.
it's called drop shotting. Learn it. But it's just so back to the topic. It's just so weird the Call of Duty without making any kind of improvements or like trying anything new that they're still leading the list. Just baffles me. Because
Well,
what?
it's not like they're not innovating a little bit. I mean,
They're innovating a little bit, but it's not like here's
but they don't have to take the drastic steps.
That's true. They don't have to risk really anything, and they're just gonna make all their money, and everyone's gonna get excited for it. Because I'm not gonna lie, I'm excited.
If you're at the casino table and you're throwing out hundreds and you're winning every hand, are you gonna start throwing out 700 or something like?
I mean, that's
Like,
true.
Probably just gonna ride what works until it doesn't work.
That's true. And I mean, I am excited for Black Ops 3, but I'm always excited for every Call of Duty other than I think the last one I wasn't excited for was World at War. And just because we have COD 4 and then it's like, here's World War 2 again. Hope you're ready to play with Tommy guns and fucking slow ass guns.
Hey, that's Mafia 3.
There was,
back off.
Wasn't there a Tommy gun in?
I don't know, probably.
I think
I'm
there
just
was.
like-
Oh no, I
Oh,
know.
what? The World at War Zombies?
No, and zombies, but it's also in multiplayer.
Fine. I think we're getting caught up on
Okay.
irrelevant detail.
Okay, you're true. Okay. Do you have anything else you want to say about this topic?
I'm still mad at myself for trading in World at War right before zombies came.
I don't see how that fits in, but sure.
It's just one day Bob's like, "Hey, you want to come play zombies?" I'm like, "What?"
That would be another. I think
And
that.
then I'm like, they're demon dogs. Like, what is this? This is awesome.
All right, but let us know down in the comments what do you think is the most anticipated game for the rest of the year, and if you agree or disagree with us, people are probably
If you
gonna.
can, if you have any indie suggestions, because that's
There probably is indie games. We don't really pay attention to that whatsoever.
I try to, but
Okay,
I have to hear it from so
yeah.
somebody else has to care enough to tell me about
I
it.
was gonna say, I guess I won't speak for you. I don't pay attention to indie games
Yeah,
unless
you
you
don't.
tell me, or someone else says it like that. All right. So for topic two, I've been in a little bit of a kick where I want to buy retro games. So I was thinking about games that I wish I played, but I never really played. It doesn't have to be retro, because my number one game that I wish I played, but I didn't, and this isn't going to come to a surprise as you, but I haven't played BioShock. And and I knew that's what you were
You
going
just
to.
borrowed it from me for months and didn't
I
return.
tried so hard, and I don't know if it was because there's other games out.
All right, here's the question: Did you? There were probably other games. Yeah, I think that was around the Modern Warfare 2
It
era.
probably was, and that at that point I was in, I was deep. There's no getting me out. But
Couldn't come up for air.
there was no other game on my Xbox other than Call of Duty.
Here's the question though: How do you remember how far you made it into Bioshock before you said nah?
See, no, because
Because I feel like there are certain lulls at that point and like different acts where the feeling is a little bit different. So you might have been turned off by a certain point, kind of like I was at the first mission of Mass Effect 1, and I was just like, nah.
there probably was that. I probably just played the beginning, and I was like, "There's, I could be playing Call of Duty, I could be playing anything else," and it's just like, I've heard, like you've always told me, like the story is amazing. I gotta play it.
I know what turned you. I know what made you stop.
What was it?
The first time you hacked a turret.
Um,
First time.
See, it's been so long. Like, that
That
must
little robot that's stuck under the door, and then you have to do the fucking hacking thing, and you were like, nope.
no. I don't remember what it was. Something just bored me about it, and it just I'm gonna go back and play it. That's what I want to do for a let's play. Probably after the fall when every good game's coming out.
Even though they're 100 hours a pop, so we're gonna be doing them till April.
Maybe this is not really. I think Fallout might take the longest, but Halo will be quick, I would assume. But is there any games that you haven't played that you wish you did play? Because I
I don't
know,
have a full three. I might get some more along the way, but the one that came to mind was Shadow of the Colossus
yeah, I was.
because I saw a few people playing that, and at that time, seeing your friend like fight one of the behemoths was the scale was it was this was before God of War 3 and everything, but like that was honestly what it felt like.
Hmm.
Just the pure scale of that, and I was like, wow. But then when you look at it, it's like, okay, you're just climbing
What
up the thing.
wasn't
And
that?
honestly, I've read the story, and I would have probably been disappointed, but at the time, I definitely wanted to play Shadow of the Colossus.
Wasn't that like right at the end of the PS2 as well? Like that was like
Or maybe not the very end, but I think
it was close to the end.
a year or two before. Well, the PlayStation's still kind of going too. The
That,
PlayStation,
that's
so
true. But like
I mean, but yeah, before the PlayStation 3 came out, yeah.
I never really heard about that game when it was out because at that point I already transferred over to playing like Xbox and I was playing like Halo and Halo 2. But I definitely everyone says good things about that game and it would be a cool game to play. There's another game. This is also your. I made this list and like I typed it out without thinking of you, and I was like, I read it back and I was like, he's just gonna be like, I told you so. I told you so. So my next one.
What? So you're just going like a generation back
Nah, I
kind
was
of
thinking like N64 range
and up?
and up. I was also thinking like NES. Like I wish I played. I played the Super Mario games like Super Mario World and stuff like that, but like I never beat it. But I also there's not real much to that, so it's not like I'm missing out on that much, even though everyone says it's good. But for my other game, another game rather, because I have three, kind of four, but God of War series. I played God of War 3, but that's because I was up in Vermont and bored, and there was no games out, and I was just like, I have a PS3, might as well use it.
So like I mean, you probably didn't miss too many story threads, but you were just kind of like thrown in the middle of it.
Yeah, like I understood what went on, but like it probably would have been nice to play the first and the second one and not just.
The first one blew me away because of the way they like did the backtracking stuff, and I mean, it's not spoiling anything, but like you started in Athens and there was a story element, and then all of a sudden you're like down in like the sewers, and then you take a staircase up and it's like the same bridge that you crossed in Athens, and it's like, oh my God, that's so cool.
I was just at the point when that came out. I was still playing. That came out on PS2, right? I believe.
Yeah.
I didn't really play my PS2 unless it was like Twisted Metal or stuff like that.
Twisted Metal was a good one.
Yeah, I love those games, but it just I never really because at that point I got my Xbox and my dad's like, "Here's a game. It's called Halo. You might like it."
Yeah, okay, okay. Because the Xbox lineup kind of sucked apart from Halo.
Oh yeah,
Because like I remember my friend got it, and like I went over to his house a couple times, and like I don't even remember what the fuck he played on it, but like it was just like his sister and her friend all the time playing that Dead or Alive beach volleyball shit.
yeah.
I'm just like, this is not. Nope.
If it wasn't
I'll
for
stick to
Halo,
the
that
PlayStation 2.
this just like we're playing Xbox One right now. Xbox wouldn't exist without Halo. They did not
Correct.
make that game.
And I wouldn't have gotten a 360 had it not been for Gears.
That's true. I don't even remember what made me get Gears.
Well, I
That would be a topic for
I think it's just because of it was like
I could
it looked really good. The trailer was that's a different topic.
yeah.
But like the trailer was really well done, and then it was like pretty much one of the only strong, like there wasn't Halo out at that time, so we're just like, we should try this. It looks good.
And I just brought it over to your house and we're like, "Oh, yep, this is
And I'm
fucking
like,
good."
this is fucking awesome.
I remember we played that
And
like we played it like in your basement with like all the lights out and I was like, "This is fucking awesome."
why did we have to play with the
I don't know
lights?
why we played with the lights out. I just remember like it was just so
No
dark.
power party.
I don't think it was a no power party.
I whipped up the generator just so we could put the Xbox in.
I just remember we were playing it in like that setting, and I was like, "This is fucking awesome!" And I can chainsaw people, and their blood and guts
Yep.
go everywhere. It's fucking awesome. So
Yeah.
when I was also
What also let me transfer over to the 360 was the ridiculous price tag of the PlayStation 3 when it first launched.
yep,
I would never have been able, especially back then when I don't even think did I. Yeah, I had a job then, but like
we were
it paid $8.25.
we were working at Great O'Shaw's.
Yeah. Like there was no way I was gonna fucking drop that money.
I don't think PlayStation had much on it either. Maybe the Uncharted's, I guess. But I was thinking when I was thinking of this topic, I was like, games that we haven't played. I was like, I know a few games that Justin probably hasn't played because he was deprived as a child.
Yeah, that's the way we'd have to go back, and like I can't think back to that. I can't think of a game where I was like, I wanted to play it back then because honestly, it was so many years ago, and I'm not gonna remember
Yeah.
it. But then there was also like, I might have picked it up at some point.
I was
you know?
thinking like the Legends of Zeldas. I know you tried playing Ocarina of
I
Time,
did try playing it on emulator,
and I told you were wrong.
and what? Wrong about not playing it?
No, wrong. I was like, "There's a switch down there." You're like, "No, there isn't." I'm like, "You're doing it
There was
wrong."
not because I couldn't finish that game because I got to like the third temple or whatever, and there was a bomb plant, and I had to knock out a wall with a bomb plant, but the bomb plant near that wall glitched out, so I couldn't carry the other bomb plant all the way across there. So I was like, I guess that's done.
So I was thinking like that. I was thinking like Super Mario 64. I'm assuming you haven't played.
Uh,
You probably dabbled in
I
it a
think
little bit.
yeah, I think I went to a friend's house once and I kind of tried it, but the control scheme was really weird to me. Like his jumping mechanics and everything. I was just like, I just kind of want to run forward and hit one jump button. I don't want to do this like
Triple
oh,
jump.
if he runs forward and then does a backflip, he gets like an 8-foot vertical as opposed to his like 1 foot one. Like I never understood that, and I was like, there's no way I'm gonna be able to utilize this. Or I got to the bunny part. Because I think like when I watch some of those speed runs on Twitch and stuff, like I only remember a few stages, like the penguin one, and that's about it. And the castle, I guess. Like, but would I go back now? Probably not.
Probably not.
Would
It'd be
I
a little
wanna
weird
play it
now.
at that time. Honestly, if I had a N64 back then, I would have just been playing Mario Kart and Smash.
I think
Probably.
if you got Legend, I feel like Legend of Zelda would have blew your mind in like 2000 or whenever that game came out. Just because
Maybe
I see you as
if
like,
if I found a way how to get out of the first village, which was my downfall in Twilight Princess.
that was a great game.
I couldn't get out. I had no idea how to get out of the village, and I was just like, I'm straight.
There was like a little crawl space, I believe. You had to crawl into like
Oh,
the
a little
lake.
crawl space
It's-
in like a breaker area. Oh,
You just got to meet her in the usual spot. It just
I was fucking playing fetch with a fucking owl and shit. I was like, well, is the owl gonna give me a key or something? Like, I don't know.
But we're at a point like now where like if there's a game we want to play, we play it. So there's not much we miss. There's a lot in like the 360 era that I probably should have played. I couldn't really think of anything that was huge other than like BioShock. There's a lot of games you have that I'm like, I'd like to play this, but I probably won't.
Like Vanquish.
Like what?
Vanquish.
Vanquish, yeah, I thought about that. Deus
The
Ex.
mechanics are so solid. You could probably hold up with it. I mean, there's another one coming out. You might as well just wait.
Yeah, I like these are games like I've been wanting to play, but not something I'm desperate to play.
Dead Spaces, I think
Oh,
you would
that
like.
yep, that was.
Bayonetta, you would like.
I was playing the Transformers game today, and I think isn't it like the same publisher or something like
Oh,
that?
yeah, Platinum made Bayonetta, Vanquish,
And I've been reading
yeah,
that people like compare. They're saying it's like Bayonetta but Transformers.
Metal Gear Rising.
Yeah, but like I definitely Dead Space. I tried Dead Space too, and I think it was like another probably another thing where I got not far
There were
into the
better
game.
games. There were more
Yeah,
games out that you wanted to
I
play.
didn't get that far in, and it was so slow, and I was just like, this can. I don't need to play this right now. I guess would be the.
It's not that slow.
I
I
got
mean,
I got to a point where I had to kill. I think it was like kill the first. I don't even know what they're called, but
or more.
yeah, I had to kill the first one, and like I tried taking its leg out, and I think I like missed, and it kept killing me, and I was like,
So you
yeah,
just
yeah, I probably.
like right after you get the plasma cutter and he like attacks you there.
Yeah, I believe so. And then like right after, I think I finally did kill him, and I got into like a big like hallway type area. I don't know. You might not remember. I know you have a better memory than me, and
Yeah.
I didn't actually play the game much. So what I'm saying probably is all wrong. But just I saw the retro sale on GameStop, and that's what made me think of this topic. I was like, there's so many games that I want to play on like that. I just wish. I know if we went back to any of these games, maybe not BioShock and stuff because that's 360, but like if you went back to Super Mario, you'd be like, no, Legend.
Yeah, no, because that's the same thing we did when we tried to cap like PlayStation 2 games. We played Twisted Metal, which was my shit on the PlayStation 1, I want to say.
Probably.
Yeah, the one where they have the I don't know how to describe it because the characters are probably in every game, but the one where Minions, one of like the sub
I
boss
think
or
it was
whatever.
Twist. I think it brought over Twisted Metal 3.
Yeah, it was either two or three. But we went back to that, and the mechanics are just like it was that, and the mechanics were weird, or the control scheme was weird, and felt like clunkier than. I mean, there's so many better mechanics. I don't know. Like, there's been a lot of innovation in games since then, and going back from a 360 controller back to a PlayStation controller will always feel weird to me now. I don't know why. I think it's just because like it's like smaller,
I just imagine like
and the joysticks are in a weird.
imagine we have like a kid, which I know crazy. We might never have one, but like imagine.
I'm not having a fucking kid with you.
No, not with me. I meant. Shut up. I meant like if we have a.
This ain't that kind of podcast.
I meant like if we had a kid and they're like, this is what we used to play when we were fucking 10 years old, and give them like Twisted Metal, and they'd be like, are you kidding me? We have.
You'd be a bad father for giving your kid that right away.
I read stuff on Reddit where people like, I have a kid and I decided to start them off exactly like I started off with the Super Nintendo. And I was like, oh.
with no mom and a video game and $30.
I was thinking about, I was like, I think that'd be cool to like give my kid an N64 game and then be like, this is fucking, these are awesome. And then be like, go to their friend's house, like, yeah, we have the Xbox 60 or something. Like,
Dad, you're kind of fucking stupid.
it's so weird to think that like we used to think
Ryan's dad, my new dad.
like I have so many fond memories of like Super Mario 64 and Zelda games, and I just know if I think the Zelda games would hold up and probably Super Mario, but like if we went back and played like GoldenEye or something, that would be like you played GoldenEye with one stick. I can't imagine playing a shooter.
That might be on my list.
What to
'Cause
play that?
I was deprived of that too, and I just never. I don't even, like. I vaguely remember playing a couple times at a friend's house, and I just
It's
yeah.
like
And I always played like the first mission, but that's as far as I got in the story.
the story was awesome, but
Yeah.
that's not what. At the time, it was like that was the first, not the first multiplayer game, but that was the big multiplayer game, and
Wow.
it was just so good. I went to my cousin's house like every other weekend, and we'd play that basically all weekend, and we'd be playing with even with like my uncle and my aunt and my dad. We'd like have like tournaments and crazy shit playing GoldenEye.
I was always that kid where we'd have like a party for like the baseball team and shit, and I would just like the second I got my hands on the controller, They're like, okay, we're gonna play Relievio. I'll be like, I'm right fucking there. As I input the fucking cheat code for a tank in GTA. Yeah, I'm not gonna be out there for a while, for a little bit. You just go hide. I'll come find you.
When I was fucking growing up, I had like no friends that I had friends.
Okay.
I had no friends that played video games or liked playing video games. It was always like a fucking chore to get them to play, and they'd be like, "I don't really want to play games." I was like, "How do you not love this?"
You always had to go. You always had to go play games with a stoop kid.
I like
He was the only one that understood.
like my best friend growing up. The only games he liked playing was like NBA, and he wouldn't want to play like anything
Yeah,
else.
yeah, I know.
And it's just the
Because I was his bread
worst.
and butter, and he felt superior playing it or something.
And then when Halo came out, I got like a few friends that liked playing Halo, and I was like, "This is fucking awesome." And then I met like our friends that we have now, like before we met you, and that's what we'd always fucking do. And I was like, "Why couldn't this have been my childhood?" I just want
Yep.
friends to come over and play games.
Yeah, I had people over to play Madden and shit, just because it was like Madden '01, and for some reason, if you were the Cowboy team and fought the Monsters team, like you could just run an HB sweep for like 103 yards every play. Well, that doesn't make sense, but like
No,
99
yeah,
yards
I
every
know you
play.
meant.
Like for some reason, they would just pancake the shit out of them on every block, and I don't know what the hell happened in the development process that it was like, okay, we're just gonna have the Monsters lose to the fucking Cowboys every fucking time.
But I think now that Xbox is going to be backwards compatible, I'm definitely gonna, or at least I'm gonna plan on going back to some sort of 360 games. Like I got the Rare Replay, so I have some games from the N64 era, not the good one. Oh, Banjo Kazooie is good, but like I was playing Conquer, and I was like, this game was fun when I first played it. It's not as
Yeah,
fun
I definitely,
anymore.
I definitely wanted to play it when it was first out.
Yeah.
I think mostly because of the humor though. Like
Oh
I didn't
yeah.
look anything into the gameplay or anything like that. I was just like, oh, that's a raunchy ass fucking Squirtle. That's awesome.
Yep, that's basically. You can probably borrow that from me sometime and probably play it.
Yeah,
You
my
might not want
bias.
to because there's 10,000 achievement points.
Yeah, that and only three of the games appeal to me, and I haven't even started Metal Gear
That's
yet,
true.
and I'm still on Dragon Age on hour 84.
So there's another game I was thinking of, like the Uncharted, which I'm gonna go back to because I'm definitely playing four, absolutely,
Well,
and
I'm coming over the play too.
and they just released the Uncharted collection, so it's gonna be a lot easier to play them, especially with like trophies and stuff. Like I'm not like a big into achievements and trophies as you are, but like it definitely makes the games more appealing, even though it's strange.
Yeah, it's that periodical success slash rewardment thing. And it happens all the time. Like, I don't know what it is. It's probably because it's so easy and I don't know, we probably just need it. We need a win every now and again in the day. We work 8-hour work shifts and it's dreadful and it's just stupid unless you're like playing with like little fucking dogs and shit. Like, I don't know. But you need that. You need those little things. And that's what the achievements serve. Plus, I've always made this argument when you guys give me shit for achievements. Like, even when I went back, I always wanted to unlock everything. Like, I was talking about the sports packs and like Madden and shit. Like, I wanted to collect them all. I don't know what it was. I
OCD.
wanted all. I wanted all 151 Pokemon, even though I knew damn well I missed that Japanese fucking tournament where they handed out Mew. I was never gonna get Mew, and I was just like, I can go for 150. I don't.
It's
I don't
true.
know. It's just like that's just that goal thing. I don't know. If I only apply that to real life, then
If there's achievements for real life, you'd have fucking
yeah,
the perfect
yeah,
life.
I'd be at 96%. Like,
Oh, that's so funny. So, is there any other games you wish you played that you could think of off the top?
off the top of my
Off,
head, no.
no.
If we ever go back and do this again, it'd be nice to pull up a list or something. I could just kind of browse it because I'm sure
No,
there's other.
there's definitely games that we haven't played, but there's nothing that like stands out. I would say probably.
Yeah, because right now it seems like we're hitting the big ones, but like I know there were probably ones where I was like, that looks cool.
Yeah, definitely. Because obviously you probably don't have as many Bioshock misses like I
Uh,
did, but
Because like you probably didn't play Siphon Filter, and I played all those like out of order, and it was fucking fantastic because you could air taser a guy for as long as you wanted. After 3 seconds, he would light on fire, and you could just sit there fucking holding the R2 button and just fucking tasering him until he's like cooked to a fucking crisp. I was like, I wonder if I can actually make him ashes. But like no, he just flailed around all flamey and shit.
all right. So let us know down in the comments below what are some games you've missed. If you're gonna criticize me for missing Bioshock, I'm way ahead of you. Don't do
Mhm.
it. All right. So for topic three, Arrow came out last week. Or episode one, which
A lot of shows came back
well,
last week.
yeah, but we're just gonna be talking about Arrow because I don't think. Do you think Flash was? There wasn't really anything to really talk about in Flash.
Snowberry.
Yeah, but you have a weird fascination with other people's relationships.
I ship things. I
Yes,
ship fake
yes,
characters.
yes. Okay,
Uh,
so for
there were some qualities. I mean, well, mostly it was kind of stuff we already knew, but it's interesting to see how it'll play out. Like Harrison Wells leaving the message. So like obviously they have Tom Cavanaugh still there, which you said he'll probably be an Earth 2 Reverse Flash or something.
yeah,
I see him coming back. And then the whole Ronnie thing.
that was weird. I didn't see that coming.
Spoilers, by the way.
I said we were gonna talk about episode one. If they don't understand, then...
Yeah.
So I just want to really just talk about Arrow because there was a lot in Arrow. I would say like a lot more than what Flash really gave us. Because Flash is like a slow burn, I would say, but Arrow one they threw like Damien Dark. He almost killed Arrow. If
It
Diggle,
might just be because Flash was like more depressing.
that was very surprising actually.
It might have been, but that's probably because it's on the season 2 story arc as opposed to a season 4 story arc.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
But
That might have been what contributed to it.
they threw like a lot of cool stuff at us in Arrow episode one. I would say.
What kinds of stuff, Lane?
Well, I mean, they threw Damien Dark almost killing Arrow, like I just said. They
Yeah, that was kind of crazy. I was like, well, I know he's not gonna die, but what the fuck power is that? Like,
right. You want to know
Because
so
he-
much more. Like,
Is he like fucking like the DC version of Iron Fist, and he just has like the fucking the chi shit, and he just like can choke people out. He's oh my god, he's Darth Vader.
but
Disney has bought DC.
but then there's like Quentin Lance meeting up with Damien Dark.
That was pretty fucking cool.
I did not.
That was cool.
They're like, there's someone here to see you. I was like, so maybe Amanda Waller or somebody from Hive, something like that. And he just fucking strolls around the corner.
Which Hive was Brother Blood's thing, so like I'd never heard of Damien Dark until like last season.
Yeah.
So it's interesting that they have him running the show as opposed to does that mean they're gonna like reveal another bigger Brother Blood?
Maybe. I mean, obviously, there's going to be anyone bigger than a bigger bad than Damien Dark, but
Not this season though.
yeah. But I don't know. How do you think they're going to like stop him really? Because it's at this point, he looks unstoppable realistically.
Well, we saw our weakness,
What
the blood statue thing.
yeah. But
So I think his powers
come from that.
yeah, and they wane over time. It's kind of like the Green Lantern, like he always has to charge up his ring and shit,
Mm-hmm.
even though every fucking battle in space he has enough juice like all the time until they want to make that plot point where it's like, oh no, I'm running out of energy. I have to go. Oh, like
It was also weird that he just like when Diggle shot him in the back, he just disappeared. Like, I don't. Does he have teleporting powers, or did he just run away? It was just it's weird. Did you remember that part?
yeah, I remember that part. Diggle should have saw him leaving if he saw him.
Yeah, just like can he teleport? Because that'd be fucking unfair if he can. And I don't
Maybe that's how he got into the office building before in the first place.
maybe even he just that was a badass scene.
This is a closed meeting.
That was an awesome scene. I was like, this is fucking awesome.
It was like the thing where the girl was like, I'm gonna go call the police, and he just like puts his hand out. It was like kind of like the Johnny Depp and Black Mask thing where he goes up to the wife's room of the FBI agent.
Oh yeah.
He's like, you should come down for dinner. Just like, I don't know if you're gonna kill me, rape me, or feed me food. I don't know what's happening right now. Like it could go either way.
But he just seems such like a badass, and it's so much different than what Roz was. Because I think Roz was badass, but he was like, I guess
The actor is wicked good too.
what the one that's
Like,
playing Roz or Damien.
Yeah, he's almost got like an Ed Harris kind of thing going on, but he's also. Do you remember who he played in a different
No.
universe?
No.
Dum Dum Dugan.
Oh.
It's Dum Dum Dugan.
Isn't Dum Dum Dugan a fucking dragon?
No, that's Ping Fang
Oh,
Boom.
that is. I sound like such a noob.
How I know.
I'm also glad that they didn't like obviously there's conflict between Diggle and Arrow still, but like they didn't like
There is, but like he admits, like at certain points, he's like, kind of like he calls him man one time, And then he's like, I'm not right. I'm not quite there yet, but I'm really, really close, apparently, even though I'm ignoring you when I walk away 2 seconds
His
earlier.
wife basically called him a bitch and to get over it. So I forgave him. Why don't you, Diggle?
But I do like that dynamic between Oliver and Lila though. Like in the Falero episode last season, they were kind of like, yeah, they don't understand. Like you have to do some fucked up shit if you're gonna do it.
And I'm just glad they're not like fighting like at each other's throats for like every episode. Like they
No,
got
they
over it kinda.
yeah they're gonna work together, but they're gonna be at arm's length
Yeah.
for a little bit,
But is it
which is good, which is interesting. But also, I'm pretty sure they'll have it resolved within 3 episodes. So
probably. But it's a lot better. He's probably gonna have to like save Diggle's like save either Diggle's daughter or save Lilo and he'll be like, you know what, you are a good guy in case you didn't know it already. And the reveal when he was like, I'm the Green Arrow, that was fucking it was
Ooh,
great.
wait a second.
What? You didn't see that?
What? Oh, what were you saying?
When he
Go ahead.
revealed that he was Green Arrow, or when he called himself Green Arrow?
I actually rebooted that up from my computer and I linked it to my fucking Xbox and I fucking rewatched that public service announcement thing
That was fucking
because
awesome.
I don't like how he said Green Arrow, and I know I'm nitpicking the fuck out of it, but like the costume actually looks wicked good, and the whole Oliver acts so much different now. It's kind of
He's
awesome.
like
I
cheerful, which is strange.
Yeah, which is they said in five after the 5 year mark, it'll be the Oliver that you know, which is the witty, like quirky kind of Oliver. Still badass, but still kind of joking around and shit.
It was great. It was a cool reveal. Like I figured they were gonna say that till later in the season. He was just gonna be a. I mean, I guess he needed to be called something, and they weren't just gonna call him a vigilante again all the time. And
Yeah.
Arrow is dead or whatever the fucking story is.
Yeah, so you just throw. It's just kind of weird that you just kind of throw Arrow or Green in front of it, but
What do you
I mean,
What do you think?
they couldn't have gone through the first 3 seasons not calling him Arrow. Like we got Quiver Man, like they couldn't have done that. So I mean,
I guess they.
Green Arrow's good.
Yeah. What do you think Quentin's gonna? Because Damien Dark, when Quentin met up with him, was like, "You need to find out who the Arrow is, and like everything you like." What do you
So
think?
So Quentin's holding some cards close to the vest. You mean?
Yeah, like what do you think he's gonna do about that? Because if he doesn't do it, I'm sure Damien Dark's gonna like threaten Laurel or Sarah when she eventually comes back. I don't know if she's gonna actually stick on Arrow for that long. Probably,
Probably not.
probably not.
Probably.
Yeah.
Um, I need more information on the Quentin thing because why did he? Because end of season 3, spoilers. Uh, Oliver beats Roz, and it seems like it's okay. And the whole reason the town's fucked up now is because of this group. So what motive did Quentin have after the city was saved in season 3 to work with a terrorist organization? Did they promise him like did they come up with like some goodwill, or did they sell it initially as like we're gonna save the city type thing, kind of like Brother Blood, or
Do you think he might like have some form of bringing Sarah back to life, and he might have promised that possibly?
made a deal that maybe, yeah, even though it seems kind of too late.
Yes, yes, but I mean,
I mean, I don't know why he wouldn't have been like. I mean, he didn't know about Thea getting resurrected, right? But like,
no. At least I don't
I
think
don't
so.
know. I don't know why they wouldn't have played that card last season instead of this season, unless they really were stretching for ideas for the season. I don't know.
It seemed because do you think that was like when he raided the office? Do you think that was they were already working together, or was it like after they
Oh yeah,
spared
yep.
Quentin, that Quentin was like maybe I have to work with this guy, so I'll do whatever he
No,
says. So you think it was
no, he's been working with him the whole
yeah,
time
Paul?
because he seemed kind of calm in the
Oh
meeting.
yeah, like
Because
he wasn't
because
worried.
like I don't know what the girl's name was, but it's like Beatrice. No, I wouldn't do that. Like just sit down. He'll kill you. And I was like, oh, that makes sense because this guy just crashed the meeting and threatened to blow up the fucking city and shit. Like I don't
But
know. I think he knew who he was underneath.
that's a good point, but it's also because they raided the office and they were like planning on killing him, but then he fought back to protect Laurel. But I guess they don't know.
Were they? Were they though?
Well, okay,
Because they took forever to shoot
that's a
them.
fair point.
Because the first three like dropped instantly, and then it was just like, hey, Quentin.
That's a good point, but like, don't you think he would? I mean, I guess they caught the men, so maybe the men couldn't report back to Damien Dark that Quentin fought them off to protect Laurel or Canary or whatever. But it's just weird because don't you think Damien Dark might find out about that? You know what I'm saying?
Maybe. Yeah.
Because it
I think it was all a ploy. Which now I'm trying to think like, is Quentin trying to I think he might be trying to win back over Team Oliver or Team Arrow, or whatever you want to call it now. I don't even know. Technically, it was Diggles, and then like the public service announcement, it was back to Oliver, pretty much being in charge. But uh, like, is he trying to get them close? Is he trying to save Laurel out of it, or is he trying to? I don't know what his motives would be.
Well, his main
It's
motive was
interesting.
always to save Laurel, you would assume, but he definitely has to have like a secondary main motive,
Yeah, but now is it to save her from the lifestyle that she's living again, or something stupid like that?
possibly.
I mean,
Because Damien definitely has to hold something over his head for him to work with them, or they
well,
had to been a
yeah,
deal, which we said,
yeah.
yeah. But it's definitely going to be intriguing where they take it. And then one more part I want to talk about the episode, unless you have anything else you want to talk about, is the ending scene with the
Yeah,
tombstone.
that's what I was gonna say. And now, initially, well, who do you well explain the scene
Okay,
first?
so it says I don't remember what happened. Oh, I think Felicity and Oliver like lovey lovey kiss, and then they
CW drama.
then they fast forward 6 months to Oliver standing in front of a newly like covered grave, which you could tell because it's like new dirt and whatever. And he's like he's not too like he's not crying his eyes out.
He's stoic and
It's like
he's old Oliver,
yeah,
I guess. He's darkness version Oliver.
yeah, but he's not freaking out, but he's also upset. And then Barry comes in and was like, and Oliver's like, "Oh, were you fighting Zoom or whatever? Busy with Zoom?" He's like, "Yeah." He's like, "Sorry, I would have been here earlier." And then he just runs away. I don't really know what the point of.
No, because Oliver's like, he's like Zoom, and he's like, yeah, and then he's like, I'm gonna fucking kill him. So I don't know if he's talking about killing Zoom, if Zoom's responsible for it, or if he's just like, I don't know if that was just like, you're still dealing with Zoom, or is that why you missed the funeral?
Yeah.
Is because of Zoom thing?
And then
Which I'm leaning more towards that.
and then Oliver said like, "I used to
I
think."
want to be alone.
He said like, "I
Oh
used
yeah, go
to
ahead.
think
Go ahead.
this would be my fault or I would be the cause of this, but it's not," or something like that. So I think it's either Quentin in the grave. I want to say Felicity, but I feel like he'd be so much more hurt than he was, or
Yeah.
appear that way. And the only reason I
Well,
think,
we both acknowledge that it would have to be somebody that Barry knew as well. Like almost, well, maybe not. He doesn't necessarily like he knows most of it. Team Arrow.
yeah, and
So
I don't think has he met Quentin? Actually, they went.
yeah, they met face to face, but I don't think he'd be like at the funeral for Quentin.
That's possible. But it's also 6 months in the future, so you don't know. Maybe they meet. Oh God,
Oh, stuff's gonna happen.
yeah.
I mean, we don't and giving us that much information as like a tease, it's definitely gonna fuck with us.
They probably don't even know.
we might be right,
They
but
might not even
no,
know at this point.
no, they definitely have an idea of who they
Oh, I
want.
mean, I probably have an idea, but it definitely could change. Because if they knew who it was going to be, they would have. I mean, I guess they want to keep the tease and not be like, "Here's who's going to die in 6 months. Get
No,
used to it."
they know who they're killing off.
But so, do you think
And
it's just Felicity or?
I have a few ideas. I want to say it is Felicity just because that whole 5 year mark, it's going to be the Oliver that we know. So I feel like they might do if Felicity, because honestly, the best part of the episode, the strongest part of the episode, at certain points, some other points, it was kind of like, what am I watching? I'm not watching a superhero movie type
Mhm.
or a TV show. Was Oliver and Felicity. Their whole dynamic was it was different because Oliver was more cheery and shit, and they had the more like instead of her just saying the quirky stuff, he was kind of like giving it back and stuff.
That's true.
Um, so their whole dynamic was better. Um, so I feel like them building that up might be like we're gonna build it up all season just to have her get fucking
Killed.
like
I,
yeah, which sucks because then we're gonna hear the whole thing like they only kill because his mom died. Well, Tommy died first, but then like
I don't
it's
think
just
that
been
was a
like
big
a
deal,
slew.
really. Obviously, it was a big deal, but it wasn't like his mom dying or when Thea died. And I think
Well,
Felicity.
Thea died for 20 minutes or
Well,
for
yeah,
5 minutes.
but
But they're gonna play that out too. I mean, we're getting off topic with the grave thing. I think it might be Felicity just so that they open up the door for the Green Arrow Canary
oh, that's possible.
relationship again. They might do like a Spider-Man type thing because Peter Parker didn't really date Mary Jane. They were like mutual friends with Gwen, but once like Gwen died, he was like super depressed. And then she was like, "It's gonna be okay," and then like that turned into a relationship. So I kind of feel like that might be how Laurel gets back into it with
That'll be
I mean,
such.
it'll take some time. It'll be weird, and it'll be
It'll be a huge risk if they do that because she's. I think Felicity is probably like the second favorite character on the show.
oh, everyone loves Felicity. Yeah, if they kill off Felicity, that
I don't
there's
even think
probably
they
gonna
were.
be a little
Do
bit.
you think they were like when season one was happening? Do you think they were planning on like putting her
No,
in the series, or there was just like,
no, because they have that thing where they said the executive directors saw her like her scene with Walter Steele or whatever, and they're like, we need more of her. And then all of a sudden it was like now she's a big player because Felicity Smoke in the comics is around for like 3 issues or whatever. It's something wicked
so it was
small and
probably
like
just like a cameo, and then they're like, people
yeah,
love this person.
then they Emily Bett Rickards was probably like, I need to make this into something.
I was thinking that it also maybe it could be Thea, but I feel like they've done that once, so it wouldn't be
Yeah,
a huge surprise, really. Like it'd be
yeah,
a surprise,
which
obviously, but it's not.
which might explain the single tear coming out of Oliver's eyes because he's probably like, I fucking
I've dealt with this shit before.
yeah. I was more upset last season, but it still sucks because it was my sister and I kind of let her down. But I don't think that would have the same resonance as well. Felicity dying would be the biggest thing. Thea dying kind of would. But why would they kill Thea? Are they gonna open it up for a third Red Hood? Oh God, Connor, don't,
Oh,
don't
that
do
is a
it. No.
great point.
If we lose Thea for fucking goddamn
Oh
Connor Hawk, I swear to
man,
God.
that
Oh.
that might not be a true thing, but that is also a very real possibility. Because didn't they
No.
hint towards
Yeah, the Flaro episode, they had the mom show meet up in Century City, and then she was pregnant.
you're,
And, oh no, she already had the kid.
you're gonna be hating this idea until it's proven false.
Because then I'm gonna be like, so are they gonna kill Oliver in season 5 so that Connor becomes the Green Arrow or something? Shit? Oh God. But all right, I'm getting off. I'm getting away from that for a while. We'll deal with that
Let's leave that later.
Hopefully not though.
So realistically,
Um, I think it might be Diggle
it could be Diggle.
because honestly, I thought they were gonna like I forget the actor's name that plays Diggle, but he was kind of like he was at some Comic Con or whatever, and they're like, "What do you like most? Like, what do you like most about reading the scripts?" He's like, "I always like looking at the back of the page and not seeing that I'm not dead." Like,
It
but like, I kind of feel like I love Diggle, and I think he needs to be there, but his whole thing is being like Oliver's conscience, right?
yeah.
So if Oliver is going to be the witty, quirky Oliver in love with Felicity this season, what's going to be the need? That whole conscience. He won't need a conscience. He'll be his own man, right?
Yeah.
I mean, and Diggle will still be his brother, but especially if Diggle goes down a dark side and this whole hive infiltration thing, doing it on his own, and it gets him killed type thing.
Mhm.
I see Diggle being a good candidate for death.
I was also thinking that
honestly,
doesn't Oliver have a graveyard like in his backyard?
he did, yeah.
Because I was wondering if that's where that
Next to his
was.
father. I think he might have removed them,
Maybe.
or he might have just removed the dad's
Because
one.
I think there was like 3.
Because remember, he had like the first episode, I think it might have been like right before Helena Bertinelli got on there. He was like, he had that speech where he talked to the tombstone as if it was his dad. He's like, I can't be the guy that everybody wants me to be and all this stuff. And then like he turns around and he talks to his like, I don't know. At that point, he had servants and shit. And he's like, knock it down. Go ahead.
Because I was
So
thinking
I think
maybe
he
that was
got
in the
rid-
backyard with like next to his mom and his dad, but then that would only leave it to be Thea, I assume, or I guess
It more looks like the one where Sarah is.
that's
to be
possible.
honest.
Which mean that could mean it's Quentin, or could this is out of left field.
Or
What
do
if it's
or do they just knock out? Do they? Ooh, that would be interesting if they. I mean, I love Kitty Cassidy, but what if they kill off
that's
Laurel?
what I was just gonna say. I was like, could be
And then
Laurel,
Felicity becomes
his wife.
the canary.
That'd be a weird. I don't.
I mean, she's already been fucking Captain Atom, right? So like, I mean, you might as well.
So there's so many. Obviously, there's a lot of places it could go, but realistically, it's probably just Quentin or Felicity.
Oh no. Well, Quentin's character, I think, is like, I like the thing with like him being dark and working with Damien, and maybe something's going on there. But I've seen him as like because especially once Flash came out, like Detective West is far superior to Detective Lance.
Yep.
Like Detective Lance can't figure out shit. Detective West found out in the first episode. Because there were a few times in season 2, I was like, I think Quentin knows. Because there was the Dollmaker one where he gives him like a nod when he saves Laurel from the Dollmaker, And I was like, I think he knows. And then there was at the party where he like forgives him for being such a dick and like blaming him for killing Sarah. And he's like, you don't have to do it. He's like, yeah, I do. I was like, I think he knows. And now he knows, but he didn't know.
It's true.
And he's just kind of a weak character. And like, because the whole Quentin Laurel thing,
That's kind of
like it's almost getting to the point where like, why don't we just have Laurel be an alcoholic again? Because it's basically the same boring
that's what I
shit
was gonna
all the
say. I was
time.
like, their relationship's kind of like run its course. Like, there's no,
And he's like so controlling and kind of like unfair to her.
yeah,
Like, Laurel, I want the best for you, but like I also want you to not go outside. Like you're gonna be safe. Or like when there was that whole thing. I mean, I got off of Tumblr, and I know I've made comments about how many people are like how many males are not on Tumblr, but there was that whole thing where when he found out about Sarah and like, that she didn't tell him and stuff, and he's like, "How did you lie to me? I can't believe I thought we were close and stuff." And it's like, wait, didn't you lie to her when you planted the phone on her in season one? Like, aren't you being contradictory right now and unfair? And it's very true. Watch this. Boom. Oh, I fucked up.
all right. So, is there any other things that happened in the episode that you want to talk about? I think we
No.
covered
Well,
like the whole
well,
episode.
it does. They have a lot of interesting pieces, and like I wasn't as hyped as I was coming into it, but now I got that
Oh,
hype
I
back.
definitely got the hype over Arrow more than I got Flash, and I was way.
I'm just worried about them killing like another female character, like too like I don't. I wish it didn't have to be killing all the time. Like why do we have to ruin somebody's career and kill off a character all the time?
It's true.
Because they'll probably do something at the mid season too. Hopefully it's not a death, but
It's probably gonna have to be.
yeah, I don't know. We'll find
All
out.
right. So,
I'm sure we'll talk about it a few other
yes,
weeks.
probably if they're good as good as this episode was, definitely.
Yeah.
All right, so let us know down in the comments what you think of Arrow episode 1. If you agree or disagree, let us know who you think's on the tombstone too.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah,
big
that's
one.
definitely because obviously I think most people would think that episode's good.
Because I didn't think of that Connor Hawk one, and now I'm like, oh my God. I mean, it's so cool. I'm glad I thought of it, but I don't know. I just have a prejudice against. I don't like Connor Hawk at all.
All right.
Illegitimate sons aren't my thing.
All right, so for episode or topic 4 rather, Marvel just released that Ant-Man was going to have a sequel, but along with that they announced that there's going to be 3 unnamed Marvel movies in 2020. So we're going to discuss what we think they're going to be. So what do you think for the first one? What do you think it's going to be?
Wait, so there's gonna be 3 in a single
3 in
year?
a single year. They're
So probably 2 summer and 1 like November.
might be like one in February, and then I think they put dates on it, but I didn't really. I don't think the dates really matter as much.
And Thor Ragnarok's already been
Yeah.
confirmed. Okay, so it's not gonna be that because Thor has pretty much chewed up that November slot for a while. He's had it like every movie. Do you want me to go
Yeah, you can
first?
go first.
Oh God, now I have to remember who I had. No, you go
Okay.
first.
Okay.
I have to
All
rethink.
right, I'm starting with Guardians 3 is gonna happen.
What about two's
Two's
already
already
announced?
announced. Yep.
Okay.
And then I also have.
Are we gonna be tired of the Guardians by that point though?
I think it depends if they try to. No one's ever gonna get tired of Rocket Raccoon and Groot. You could almost guarantee.
I can get
Okay,
tired
you
of
might.
it.
Okay, the public isn't gonna get tired of them. Um, Chris Pratt's basically untouchable right now as an actor, so
Yeah, I know it's fucking awesome.
I mean it's most likely gonna happen. I mean, I guess that's kind of an easy choice to pick.
Now, what I'm thinking is they have to. I think it's too early for them to say that because we don't know how the Guardians are meshing up with the Avengers. We don't know how that dynamic's going to play out.
That's true.
Because if you have Rocket Raccoon talking to fucking Tony Stark about what bourbon they like to fucking drink, I don't. It's gonna be weird. I don't know. So I think we need to see how it plays out before they announce a third.
They might
movie.
not even be in Infinity Wars, I heard. I mean, they probably will be, but I've heard that they might not be. So, again,
Interesting.
I don't know how many, like, obviously I don't know contracts of the actors, but I'm sure they hired Chris Pratt for more than 2 movies. I would assume since he's fucking in everything now. I mean, I guess not everything is in Jurassic World.
Unless he starts a 3-movie deal for fucking Indiana Jones.
But for
He's too
I
busy.
feel like they do not sequels. They do trilogies for like all their movies, so that might just be too easy of a choice. So I didn't really go on the edge by guessing Guardians 3, which I guess for my second choice, I picked Spider-Man 2, which is also not living on the edge.
Spider-Man 2.
Spider-Man.
Can you even count it as two?
I meant Spider-Man 2 in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, I guess.
What's Spider-Man 1? His Infinity Wars?
No, there's a Spider-Man 1 in like 2016,
Oh yeah, that's right. That's
I
right.
think, or 17.
Yep.
So there's
Okay.
probably going to be a sequel to that, which I guess not living on the edge again. But this is where I'm going, living on the edge. Planet
What's your plot idea for that
for
movie?
Spider-Man 2.
Yeah,
It depends on who.
because it would be a solo one,
Yeah,
right?
solo. But I mean, some of the Marvel characters are going to be in it, but probably like cameos and small shit like that. But it depends who the first villain is. I want to see another Doctor Ock because I loved Spider-Man 2's Doc Ock. He was fucking. I loved that character. You didn't like him?
Okay. No, I think a lot of people like him. I don't know. I just the second I heard the man boobs joke, I was just like, kind of weird.
But I heard.
Plus his whole like poetry bullshit. Like some of those movies, I liked them, and Sam Raimi did a good job with the first two.
I
And,
think we liked them more because we were younger too. So it's just like
yeah.
we get to see
Plus,
Spider-Man.
like the CGI was like wicked good back in like '01
Yeah.
or whatever year that came out. '02.
It really depends who the first villain is, though. I feel like they're not going to go with Lizard. I don't know any of Spider-Man's.
No, they're not gonna. They probably wouldn't go with Lizard or Green Goblin. And
Well, they're going to do Green Goblin most likely, but probably not in the first one.
but
They'll set him up, but not have him.
Spider-Man 2 one kind of fucking. I like the idea, but then that whole movie kind of like caved in on itself, so they kind of defeated that. Plus, the Sam Raimi first one was. It's not like you're gonna get somebody that plays the Green Goblin as good as Willem Dafoe. Like,
It's true.
Um,
I heard, or not heard. I read this. It's official. Bryan Cranston wants to be in the MCU, like officially.
that'd be cool.
I also read that he wants them to make a.
That's MODOK.
I heard they want him to make him a character, like make his own character. I don't know if that's just like a misquote or something,
Like the Arkham Knight.
like the Arkham Knight. Yes, but I could see him being like a. He'd probably be better at like a Kingpin or something. But they already have a Kingpin. But he could play like a Green Goblin.
That's given that the Netflix Kingpin transfers over to the movie.
Well, no, because those are the same universe.
I don't even know if we're gonna get the. I want to see the Daredevil fight again with Captain America at some point. I want those two.
They were
together,
saying
but-
something like it's definitely possible for them to be in it, but obviously that they're not gonna be like, no, it ain't happening.
Everything's
Yeah,
possible.
exactly. So I guess that's
Everything.
not a good point brought up by me, but I feel like it's definitely probably will happen. Might.
Because our main concern has to be that we can't oversaturate and overflood these movies.
Oh yeah, because Infinity Wars is gonna be
Because
fucking.
we
crazy.
fucking scared away Joss Whedon, King God of the Nerds. We scared away.
Nope.
So we can't. It can't be that much.
But I feel like
We have
Infinity
to-
Wars 1 is just going to be like all the new characters they're doing this time, and then somebody's going to die off, and then like Hulk's going to come. Hulk will probably come back for part 2, so he's probably going to be the one that kills Thanos, I would assume.
It's gonna be a team
Well,
effort.
yeah,
if
but
they,
like-
if they even kill
but
him,
they're gonna-
I don't see them killing him. I see him like locking him away or
Well,
something.
yeah, probably, but like Hulk's definitely not going to be in the first part, I would assume. He's going to be like the cavalry coming in for part 2, probably with like
Yeah.
Iron Man or something.
Well, where's Iron Man?
I'm
go?
assuming like maybe part 1 he's going to be like, I'm just going to be like the new Nick Fury, that like I'm in charge, I'm not going to fight or anything, because he's I mean, I guess he's going to fight in Civil War, but I feel like he's going to take like a.
I thought he was gonna fight after 3, and here we are.
That's a valid point too, but there's no way they're going to have all the original 6 fighting in that movie.
No.
So
Hawkeye's still running out his course.
he had a good
That
story arc in Age of Ultron though.
Widow needs to get some sort of. Well, I'm gonna come back to that one year.
All right, so
That's pretty much. I forget who my other solo movie was that I had. I could try to pull up the list again and see if I can re-trigger that idea, but I do have another idea that I can.
so for my third one, I think they're going to do Planet Hulk.
Wait, hold on.
Okay.
You never said your idea for the Spider-Man 2 plot.
I don't know.
You said
I don't know exactly the plot, but I'm saying against Doc Ock because
is that where we so you want to leave the first one with Doc
I
Ock?
want the second one to be Doc Ock. I don't know who the first.
or do you think they would do the Sinister Six real quick?
They might do. I think it's not. I think Sinister Six movie, because I think Sony still wants to do that. I think that depends on how Suicide Squad does. So if Suicide Squad sucks, which it probably won't, then if Sinister Six probably won't happen.
Okay.
But they
yeah,
would
I can
also
see
have to set up the Sinister Six over a few movies, so that probably wouldn't be for a long ass time, I would assume.
Yeah.
But I heard that they're also gonna have Spider-Man's, like every movie is gonna be like, first one's gonna be freshman year of high school, second sophomore, junior, senior, like 4 movies.
The poor kid never gets out.
He never leaves high school.
He never gets out.
But I mean,
Uh,
Spider-Man has like the best villains, I would say, if you're not counting the X-Men, because Magneto's probably the Vex.
because the Vulture's just so cool.
Well, I mean, Doc Ock's cool, Lizard's cool.
Craven.
I don't know who Craven is. Venom is
He's the hunter
Venom
dude.
can be considered a villain. So can
Okay,
Carnage.
that's what I want for. That's what I was trying to get you towards.
Oh.
Was I want to get the second movie. I want a Venom Carnage
Oh yeah, you were saying that.
team up because that would be
See, I don't know if
awesome.
that's
Even though it's three Spider-Men fucking flailing around. I mean, that's kind of
they also
awesome.
that would be hard to.
And then what if you do the part where Venom and Spider-Man have to team up? So I guess you might have to establish Venom earlier, but still, if they had a team up with those two, like good guy or the bad guy teams up temporarily with him for the good guy. I mean, that's a cliche. But, um, Carnage is just fucking pure chaos, and there's not enough.
See, I
Carnage
don't know
going
if that
on.
would be the second movie. I could see that being like a third or something like that. Because that'd be hard to. How do you set up Carnage and Venom in the first movie? Like Marvel's capable of doing it, obviously, but that's still a lot to set up without oversaturating it. Like the
Well, is this going to be under the Marvel banner or the Sony banner?
I'm assuming this probably isn't living on the edge, but I'm assuming Spider-Man 1's going to be a success. So there's going to be a Spider-Man 2, and I believe that they have like a multi.
What's the first one under?
The first one's a Marvel and Sony joint effort,
So,
but I think
oh,
Kevin
okay.
Feige has like there's like
Is it a joint effort, or did Sony lease out the rights to
it's a joint. I think
Marvel?
there's somebody at the head of Sony, and then there's Kevin Feige who both have a say on like what happens and how like what the final say is. But I think I'm not 100% sure. I think that Kevin Feige has like the final say since he's doing
Okay.
everything right. And if he has the final,
So everybody tweet Kevin Feige.
if he has the final say for it, then it's most likely going to be a good movie. You would assume, unless it's just Josh Whedon all these years just carrying the load. But I can't imagine that.
No, it's the Coen brothers doing the next. They did Civil War, right?
Russo brothers.
The Russo brothers.
They did,
Yeah, I saw a trailer for some movie for the Coen brothers. I was like, is that them?
but it's just I definitely want to see a Venom and Carnage movie, like working with Spider-Man, obviously, or against Spider-Man.
I want to see Venom and Spider-Man team up against
I
Carnage.
also heard
But have like the first part be Venom be an antagonist as
I
well.
also heard that Miles Morales is rumored to be in the first Spider-Man movie, which is weird. I mean, I guess he can just show up.
As a separate Spider-Man.
They didn't really say, just like that Sony.
He's the ultimate.
Yeah, he's the other Spider-Man, so I don't know if they just have him.
Well, which other Spider-Man? Like the 2099 one or the ultimate?
He's.
universe?
I'm not. They didn't really say.
I want to say he's
I think he's ultimate, but they didn't really say what his role is going to be. I mean, he'll probably just show up and be like, "Oh, hey, Miles," or something stupid like that.
Yeah, like Flash Thompson was in the fucking other movies.
Yeah, it's just nothing too huge, but leaving him there.
That's my most upsetting part about that is because I wanted Venom. I wanted another Venom. Because the people argue that they fucked him up the first time. He looked good CGI wise, but the whole Topher Grace face thing kind of fucking sucked.
But
But so I was pumped to see like a good version.
it's definitely they wanted to make all these movies before Amazing Spider-Man 2 bombed, even though I don't think that was a terrible movie. It was just not.
It wasn't. People were. It didn't live up to Marvel's
Yeah,
standards.
exactly.
It couldn't compete.
I always wonder if Marvel's like sitting in their offices or whatever, watching like X-Men, being like, "It's about time. Like one of these days it'll fail and it'll come back to us."
Yeah. The Amazing Spider-Man ones kind of felt like the Transformers thing. Like when I know people give them the fight scenes in Transformers kind of shit, but like that first movie where you saw the trailer where Starscream was like whipping around a bridge and transforming in the middle of it. You were like, oh my god, like that looks so cool. So like the fight scenes and everything were cool, but then like when you go to the Sam Witwicky and Megan Fox part of the Amazing Spider-Man movies where it's Gwen and Spidey, which I love that relationship.
They
but
played perfect roles. It's just like something about the movies
but
weren't right.
it was still like 15 minutes of the running time was like gibberish. Like
He's just nervous.
I kind of, yeah. The first time maybe, but he did it when he asked her to the date. She kind of did it when like she asked him to come over and have Scambrisi or whatever the fuck that fish name is. I don't know fish. And then they did it when they did the first kiss, and then they fucking they probably did it when he threw her out the window. Like,
I don't know why. It seems like every
uh,
Spider-Man movie they try to fit in like multiple villains, which is just so weird.
yeah. I think the sweet spot, at least in the Marvel MCU, I think the sweet spot has to be three, three, three either protagonists or three central characters. So like a Spider-Man, Venom, Carnage, or the Civil Wars, Captain America, Black Widow, Sam Wilson.
Yep.
Right, Sam
You
Wilson.
mean
It's Wilson.
Civil Winter Soldier? Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
So three, 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 three. I mean, like, and then you can have these Avengers ones that are like two parts
yeah,
or whatever the hell you have to do. Honestly, Age of Ultron probably should have been two parts.
probably.
As much as we
Yeah.
don't want to pay that much money to see movies, but it should have been probably. I would love to have seen his full script
Yep.
get into action.
Or just
Um,
make it longer. I mean, everyone
yeah,
would sit at those
yeah.
movies.
So make it a two part, and then you can throw in fucking 68 fucking people. I don't fucking care. Have a party. I don't care. Just
If they
don't have Mark Ruffalo falling in Scarlett Johansson's tits.
if,
That's my job.
if they were ever like, oh, the Marvel or Avengers movie is gonna be 4 hours, I'd be like, all right, I'll fucking sit and watch that.
Yeah. Okay. Are we doing it at one time? Do we have an intermission where we have a pee break? Like I don't even care. I just won't get
There's
soda.
people, there's people that go to like those all night marathons, and like before the Avengers came out, they had like every Marvel movie, and people went and watched all of them.
No thanks.
No thanks for that much, but like if they made like a 3 or 4 hour Avengers movie, I'm not.
How many people plan their nap time around the first one, first Captain America?
That's true. Good point. But like,
I'll recharge.
would
right
would you
here.
be pissed if they were just like Avengers 3, 4 hours? Probably not.
I'd be pissed. Nope.
It's like give me as much as you fucking want, as long as it's good and not dragged out. The only thing I don't like about Marvel movies is they don't have a good villain. Loki's a good villain, I guess. Age of Ultron, Ultron was all right.
He was the second
He was
best.
yeah second best, but that's not really saying
But
much.
that's compared to Malekith and Red Skull was underwhelming.
Who else? Crossbones, I guess. He wasn't really
He's not even Crossbones.
wasn't cross.
I guess.
The
What's his
Mandarin.
face?
Mandarin were great.
No. Oh, who played the guy in Winter Soldier? Robert Redford. That's
Yeah,
it. Basically, Robert Redford.
They don't have any like defining villains, and that's like one. That's the biggest weak point in that whole like MCU, I would say, because they have Loki, and
It's because when you have a solo movie, you have to. It's weird. Like, what do? Do you have? Because like, say I throw out Captain America, who's his best villain?
I think it's Red
Probably
Skull.
Red
Yeah,
Skull, right? Yeah. So then you have to go back to World War II, which is already a problem. Um, it's just weird. And then like, so do you have a movie where he doesn't get the bad guy, and that's where it resolves? Like, I'm flying this plane into the thing,
yeah,
but
but I don't know if it's.
get that fight scene where I beat him 10 minutes
But I
ago.
don't know if like I don't know if it's how they defeat him or anything like that. Because Loki was defeated two or three times at this point, and he's still fucking awesome. I think it's
Yeah.
like the portrayal of the character more so than because they
Yeah, but then they also consider that a plot hole. Like I think Screen Rant did a video where it's like a plot hole where they do that tease at the end of Avengers where Loki like is walking down and sees the staff and shit. It's like, shouldn't he have been like? Didn't he disappear into the ether?
but
Or
they
something?
they
I
make
don't
so
know.
many cookie cutter like villains. It's just like the same thing over and over again.
And that's the thing about movies, though, is like they always have that thing where like they're always kind of predictable. And if you want like something innovative, you have to go to Netflix or you have to go to an indie developer or well, not developer, an indie director and stuff like that. You know, like I don't know, people that take chances. The big studios aren't going to take
That's
chances.
true.
And they cater more to the general populace as opposed to the hardcore fan base.
But it's just weird because like think of like Iron Man 1 cookie cutter. You could replace him for
Well, Iron Man, you also have to give a pass because it was like the thing that set everything in
That's a
motion.
good point. But
And I was also like, I don't think that's a villain. I don't think that's a guy in the comics. I think he was. I think what was it? Ebediah?
yeah, something like that.
I forget.
It's been so long since
Ebediah Stane.
I think of something like that.
I think he was in the comics, but I don't think he had a mech suit.
But like you could
I was like, is that their whiplash? Like, I don't, he doesn't have whips. Like, I don't know what they're doing here.
You-
So like, I know that at that point they didn't have a villain, so you kind of have to give a pass on that. Iron Man 2, they should have done way more with Whiplash because I consider Whiplash one of Iron Man's better ones.
But like the Mandarin, that was
Mandarin was a fucking
joke. Yep.
joke.
The villain.
I don't care if you get the Guy Pearce, the guy from Memento. I don't care if you get him. He's not the Mandarin. He breathed fire out of his mouth, and I was like, eh.
But like the Ant-Man villain, Cookie Cutter. He could.
Whoa.
I.
No one knows jack
That's
shit
true.
about the Ant-Man. And honestly, you would probably. That's the thing. I think the argument you're getting to is it's not like a cookie cutter villain. It's like an almost exact
Replica.
replica of the main protagonist, just evil.
But I
Oh,
mean,
you got Ant-Man. What's another bug version we
you
can
could
have?
replace the
Yeah,
Ant-Man villain with the not Civil War, the Winter Soldier villain, or the Iron Man 1 villain. They're all basically the same.
yeah, I know. If you're gonna have a universe, you might as well dip in other ones. But maybe not for the. I don't know. It's so weird because I know why they don't do it. It's weird. It's like why? Well, no, people don't know shit about Ant-Man really. So why would we stray them away from like
I guess.
what actually happened? I don't know. It's weird.
So what else do you think is going to be one of the movies? You said
All right, I forgot what I had like one solo one and I
wasn't it
forgot
Black
what it was.
Widow?
I want it to be well. That's where I'm getting
Oh,
towards. But
sorry.
I think it's too late for a Black Widow solo because they already did the scene in Age of Ultron, and Scarlett Johansson's on her what like sixth movie.
You can
So
never have
I
too
don't.
much Scarlett Johansson.
I know she would probably. Oh, I know. What? Too much Scarlett
Yes.
Johansson? Yeah, I could never. Yeah, never, never. But I do. I know she'd probably be up for doing a solo movie, but I just think it's the timing's too late,
She might
and
not have much of a backstory.
they kind of need to rectify how they treated her in Age of Ultron a little bit. Even though I think people overreacted a little bit, but they do have very solid points. Like I mean, I think you sat next to me during that movie, and I was just like, oh, fucking every scene with her is like, Hulk, I should have fucking jacked you off in the fucking
Hide
shower.
the
Like, I
zucchini?
was, oh, whoa,
Hide
huh?
the zucchini?
Yeah, like what the fuck was that line? Come on, Tony,
That's a
Jesus.
good line.
It was it was, I
It was
guess,
a good
but
Tony
also,
Stark line.
I guess if you want to play that Tony Stark is a dick. Because, like, if somebody said that about, like, his relationship with Pepper, he'd probably beat the living fucking shit
True.
out of him. He'd summon the Hulkbuster just to fight, like, fucking Sam Wilson. What was that, Sam? You're not even on the team. So, like, it wasn't fair. The whole falling to the boobs thing. And anyway, we're getting off topic. What was my topic?
Your
What was
solo
my
movie.
Okay, well, it's too late for Black
Okay.
Widow. I wish they just said it. But what I would like to see, if it's too late for a Black Widow solo movie, what it might. I don't think there's any comic basis, maybe. But what if they had a Birds of Prey type thing, but in the Marvel
Is
MCU?
Birds of Prey, is that DC?
That's the all female. That's like Oracle running the team of Black Canary, Huntress, all the female like
So kind
badass
of like
chicks.
a female Avengers, but not
Yeah.
Avengers.
What? Yeah. What if they had
I
that?
don't know
Like Black Widow running the show with Wasp.
if they did like a small,
Uh,
like a three-person team, like you were saying. I could see that, but I don't think they don't have that many strong female characters. Because
And is that a problem? Is that a bit of a problem?
I
Probably.
mean, if they had access to like Storm and Jean Grey, and
Okay. Well.
obviously
Okay.
that's not a possibility.
Could you introduce Lady Thor? Maybe, or is that
I
too
feel like you have
obscure?
to kill off Thor to.
Scarlet Witch is
Oh,
already
that's
in
I
there.
forgot about Scarlet. You could do like a nice.
So there's your three. But I'd like to add more, honestly,
You'd
to
have
it.
Captain Marvel to play with, which she's kind of over. I
Oh.
mean, I guess Scarlet Witch is overpowered, so that's a.
Who cares? You're gonna have Superman running the Justice League. Who the fuck cares?
That's why Superman doesn't do well.
Shit.
No one wants to watch a guy that's super
Like he
powered.
could do well, right?
I don't know. They haven't done it yet, and he's their big character other than Batman.
I know. Yeah.
That's what that they haven't written Captain Marvel because she's too overpowered.
What about a Spider Gwen?
A spider, like a Spider Woman. I'm guessing that's what that is.
No, Spider Woman's different. Spider Gwen's like in an alternate version. I think it was like I want to say like Peter died or something happened. I think Gwen lived and she became and then Peter died and she became a Spider Gwen.
I mean,
It's kind of weird. But like you should look up that costume. The costume's mad cool, but it wouldn't fit into the universe. I'm just throwing out like I'm thinking of people that like we haven't seen that would be cool to see. Like Evangeline Lilly as Wasp is going to be
Yep,
awesome, and she's also a founding member
the
of,
Avengers.
well, in the
Well,
comics, yeah. So so maybe I was saying Black Widow should be the leader, but maybe it should be Wasp, and Black Widow will be like
the
the
leader.
second in
Yeah,
command, like a badass spy. Like she gets back to her, like I don't want to see her turn into a killer or anything, but like I don't know, you know
yeah.
what I mean?
But I was thinking maybe like Nova or something, but I feel like he might just join like the Guardians or something like that.
Yeah, that would be a Guardians 2, Guardians
Because
3 thing. Nova's
they
mad
name
cool.
dropped the Nova Corpse in Guardians 1, but he might
Yeah.
not be strong enough to have his own movie, I guess. Then there's like Adam Warlock, maybe, but then again, that might just be another Guardians thing. But I feel like they might want to branch out into like their space characters to expand the universe.
I guess, yeah, because you got to set up for Thanos, because that's probably where the fight's gonna
Well, the
happen.
2020 movies are after Thanos, so they can really do anything they want. I was thinking
Yeah,
there's obvious stuff. Like I know I named obvious stuff, but there's other obvious stuff like Black Panther 2 probably, Doctor Strange
yeah.
2, but I wanted to like mix it up.
Hopefully not on Doctor Strange. I still don't
It's
care.
probably going to be
I
good
mean,
because Bender, what's his name, Cumberbatch.
Benedict
Yeah,
Cumberbatch, yeah, he's really good, but people also get tired of him a little. I mean, he was good in Black Mass and shit.
I didn't even realize that was him in Black Mask
Basically,
or Black
you
Mask. I know I
didn't?
did afterwards, but I was
Okay.
but I was thinking maybe like a Planet Hulk movie is a possibility
Yeah,
because there's
yeah, we've kind of thought about that
cause,
before. And then you can introduce like a Red
or
Hulk
She
or
Hulk.
She-Hulk, yeah, and then that could play towards my Birds of Prey
I feel
team.
like a She Hulk might be like a Netflix original or something like that though.
Yeah, maybe the second
Because
round.
I think I think the second round.
Because I think honestly, I think she's kind of a. There's a way to do it. I mean, if they're doing a Supergirl entire TV show, like I don't even know what Supergirl's job was. Like, did she have a
I
job?
don't
But now she's at like some reporting
probably
firm or
because
something.
that's how you hide Superman
And then like,
glasses.
because that was always my thing. I always looked at She-Hulk as like the Phoenix Wright of the MCU. Like I really didn't. I was like, so she didn't get her powers the same way as Hulk, and she's a lawyer. Like, how do you make that? I mean, Daredevil's a lawyer, and they made a movie, but it also sucked. So what do you do? Oh, that was my solo movie,
What?
which could also feed into my Birds of Prey thing. Elektra.
Elektra, it's possible.
I see it more as a Netflix one, but
It's
there's a way they do that
they're
character right.
introducing so many characters in like Daredevil and stuff that it's gonna be hard to make them all Netflix originals. I mean, I guess it's
Yeah, I still don't know who Jessica Jones is.
me either. I watched
Like she's just got like a grab bag of powers to
she
me
can
now. I have
fly,
no
but I
idea.
think they're taking that away from her, so she's not super
Or it'll be the season
yeah,
finale.
something like that. But like this season, they haven't what Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, Iron Fist, and Daredevil, and then they're introducing next season into Daredevil, Punisher, and probably Elektra.
That was another solo one I saw. Maybe a Punisher one
See,
solo.
that's Punisher. I think it has to do with how did
After Deadpool
yeah
was
after
rated R,
Deadpool. I think that's what
they
it
might
depends
they might
on.
go back. I mean, the other Punisher movies were rated R too, but
But I don't know if Marvel's willing. See, like you said, I don't know if they're willing to take that risk to make a rated R movie, even though that's the only way you can make a Punisher.
yeah, not Marvel. Fox would,
Yeah, Fox would because everyone
because they need
they
it.
released that trailer or leaked the trailer of that Deadpool footage, and everyone's like, "I need this now."
Yeah, I know. That's because it's Deadpool. Like, I bet like if they made it, because like you can't have Deadpool not break the fourth wall. He never did it in the Origins Wolverine movie.
Well,
He sharpened his swords and then lost his soul, and that was the entire run of Deadpool.
yep,
I would like to see kind of a Deadpool Spider-Man one. That would be cool.
yep.
But
That's
that's
that has to
for a
do
while.
with Fox and Marvel working together.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
I think that's a
Best.
possibility. If Spider-Man does,
It all depends on how, like you said, I forget what one you were talking about, but like it depends on.
just
It depends on how Suicide Squad does
it also depends.
until we get like a different one.
It depends how
Uh,
Spider-Man. If Spider-Man like outsells like Apocalypse or something like that, or
Grosses more money.
yeah,
than me.
sorry, or like gets like Avengers numbers, then I could see Fox being like, we can definitely work something out. We'll get over it. Like,
Yeah, which should have been the plan in the beginning. We're struggling, guys. Should
I mean,
we try to make some money?
the original X-Men movies weren't.
Powerhouse?
I mean, X3 wasn't that good, I guess, but X1 was pretty good.
It was not. X1 was good.
Two,
X2 was
yeah,
better.
three,
X3 was a joke.
X-Men Wolverine. or
was even more of a joke.
yeah, and then the Wolverine was it wasn't terrible, but
The Wolverine would I would say is a solid B
First
movie.
Class and Days of Future Past were amazing.
Days of Future Past was amazing, even though it was pretty much Terminator
Yeah,
2.
but
First Class I really didn't care much, but that's because they did the thing where they threw in too many obscure
yep.
people. Banshee, don't care. The butterfly wing chick,
See,
don't
I could
care.
see those movies.
Man, that guy has gills. Don't
I
care.
could see those movies changing into X-Men movies possibly, but that's like everything would have to go right for that to even happen. So it's not even like really a
Yeah.
possibility.
Well, X-Men, I think you need to. I don't know. That you need to simplify it. It's so this whole thing like we need to get into that sweet spot of how many characters can we throw in there because the X-Men is huge anyway.
It would be
So
so nice for
I
Marvel
mean,
to have them.
you have to have like the big. I would say the big five probably like Wolverine, Jean Grey, Cyclops, Storm, and probably Beast.
It would be so nice for
And
them to
then
be able to interact with like Marvel characters, like the MCU. Is basically what I'm getting at.
yeah, okay.
Because imagine all the possibilities if they had every single one of their characters. There could be like a Deadpool Spider-Man movie. There could be a Hulk and fucking Wolverine movie. Like so many
Yep.
good things could happen from that.
Would be awesome.
And I don't see how Fox isn't like. There's so much
I still
money.
feel like they would shell out the solo movies though.
Probably they would probably stick to like an X-Men. Well, I consider the X-Men movies like solo movies, kinda, even though it's not really. But then
Solo movies in what
oh,
term?
because I don't never see them doing like a Cyclops movie or like a Beast.
Oh yeah. No, yeah. So they come
Yeah,
as a package
that's
deal.
like same with like the
Yeah.
Fantastic Four. Like that's
Wolverine's the only one that you're really
yeah,
gonna do, unless yeah. Because even if you did like a Cyclops Jean thing or
yeah.
something, like a Cyclops Jean and Emma Frost, well, that movie would have been terrible because that would just been a love triangle the entire fucking movie. That would have been.
But like,
Don't listen to me. I'm starting to hit my hit my
there's
cap.
so many things, like so many groups that are like those are they have to be together. Like Fantastic Four have to be Fantastic Four. You're not gonna make a
Yeah,
Thing movie. That would just be the
it's
Hulk,
true.
I guess.
You, yeah, even though we want to see the thing fight
Yeah,
Hulk.
but that's definitely like. But then it would get to a point where Avengers movies would be. Oh, I don't know. How would they manage an Avenger movie if they had all their properties?
4 pictures on the same screen,
Can't.
3 fights, and then one for exposition.
Because how would they pick and choose characters? That'd be so, that'd be crazy actually.
What if they
If
had
they had
everybody?
all their characters.
They had all the characters. They'd have to find a story that works with 3.
That's
Which I'm trying to think
they would
of.
have to make like the perfect Avenger team, which would have to be like Wolverine, Hulk.
I mean, I'm thinking like an Iron Man, Captain America, Black Widow, but then I feel like Black Widow would just be like in between a boys fight that whole movie, so that's
Yeah, I
unfair
feel
to
like
her
she'd find
again.
her way right out of the movie if it was if they had
Yeah.
all the characters.
Well, Spider-Man, Venom, Carnage, I still like.
Oh, that's so.
Spider-Man and Deadpool, but I don't know who you triple up on that one. Punisher, maybe. Yeah, 'cause Spider-Man. I think that's how Punisher got like revealed, right? Was in a
I
Spider-Man's comic.
think so. They fight in the same area, I believe, and
So then you have the Punisher trying to kill somebody in New York City or something, and then like I don't know how you introduce Deadpool in there, but like Deadpool gets his ass like his arm chopped off by Punisher or something, and then like the Spider-Man and Deadpool have to team up to like take him out or
there
something.
is a lot of
It would be
possibilities.
that would be like a kids movie
I
probably,
think that'd
but
be a. I think we're gonna end it here because we've been going for pretty long.
and my ideas are getting worse after the Connor
I mean,
thing.
there's so many choices where you can't really be
I know.
wrong, but it's just there's so much they can do.
Yeah, you'd have to make it. The part I'm struggling with is the
Yeah.
plot around the 3 characters I'm picking.
All right, so let us know down in the comments what you think the 3 unnamed Marvel movies are going to be. We've also uploaded this podcast to the iTunes podcast app, so check that out if you just want to listen to it while you're at work or something like that. And let us know down in the comments what else you'd like to hear us talk about, topics for next week's show or some other week, I guess. But anyways,
If you have any movie pitches, I want to
you're
hear 'em.
probably better at plots than we are because we have no idea. But anyways, thanks for listening. We'll see you guys next week. Bye.
Bye.